angry guy here, and you guys are going to love this one, or maybe not, but I'm still going to share it with you because wowzers. So I know I've told you about this before, but I just wanted to show it to you for yourself. So this is an article published on CNBC. This is actually published this year on May 25th, 2019. And these are stories from real Americans, specifically millennials, that have fled the country to escape their giant student debt. Now, many of you might be surprised to discover that a number of these people are actually going to unconventional places, such as jungles, to avoid their student debt. He left for Ukraine. She's in Japan, and another lives in a jungle in India. All right. These borrowers point to their student debt as the reason they couldn't make it in America. Chad, go, bro, Chad. Oh my gosh, guys, Chad Hag, Chad. Oh. Why does the article, guys, the first word of the article is Chad. I'm just saying. I'll just say, guys. Anyway, Chad Hag considered living in a cave to escape his student debt. Chad Hag considered living in a cave to escape his student debt. A cave. I told you that millennials were living in caves too, didn't I? He had a friend doing it. He had a friend living in a cave already who was doing that to escape his student loan debt. He had a friend that was living in a cave to escape his student loan debt. But after some plotting, he settled on what he considered a less risky plan. This year, he relocated to a jungle in India. So while his friend decided to moved into a cave to hide, this guy used his head. He's like, no, this one's less risky. I'll just go to a jungle in India, a jungle. Guys, he relocated to a jungle in India. I've put America behind me, Hags 29 said. This article's from this year, guys. Today he lives in a concrete house in the village of Ukanda for $50 a month. His backyard is filled with coconut trees and chickens. I saw 4 elephants just yesterday, he said, adding that he hopes never to set foot in a Walmart again. Guys, this gonna be you. This is gonna be y'all. More than 9,000 miles away from Colorado, Hag said his student loans don't feel real anymore. It's kind of like, if a tree falls to the woods and there's no one to hear it, does it really exist? Guys, this is unbelievable. This is a picture of Chad at 1 year old, as a 1 year old. He grew up in Colorado. Some student loan borrowers are packing their bags and fleeing from the US to other countries where the cost of living is often lower and debt collectors wield less power over them. Although there is no national data on how many people have left the United States because of student debt, borrowers tell their stories of doing so in Facebook groups and Reddit channels, and how-to advice is offered on personal finance websites. How to flee the country. How to flee the country, guys. How to flee the country and avoid student loan debt for the rest of their life. So these are people who are not planning. Not only are they not planning to come back, they are hiding for the rest of their lives in jungles, caves. Jungles and caves. Jungles and caves, guys. Oh my, this is a CNBC.com article. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? It may have been an issue. It may be an issue. We see an uptick in if the trend keeps up, said Barmak Nassin, Director of Federal Relations at the American Association of State Colleges and Universities. Outstanding student debt in the U.S. has tripled over the last decade and is projected to swell to $2 trillion by 2022. Something shocking for you guys. We're already hitting that $2 trillion number. We're close to hitting that 2 trillion. We're supposed to hit 2 trillion in 2020. All right, student loan debt is actually supposed to hit 2 trillion in 2020. This article came out in May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 7 months later, guys, it just took 7 months Forget about 2-3 years. It just took guys, we're still in 2019. It just took 7 months for us to get there. 7 months for us to get to $2 trillion. Okay? Earlier this year, it was not projected. We were not projected. Dude, guys, 7 months ago, we were not projected to hit $2 trillion in student loan debt until 2022. We are projected to now hit $2 trillion in student loan debt next year. It only took us 7 months, man. 7 months before we got to the point of no return. Well, we've been at the point of no return for a long time. Average debt at graduation is currently around $30,000, up from an inflation-adjusted $16,000 in the early 1990s. Meanwhile, salaries for new bachelor's degree programs, also accounting for inflation, have remained almost flat over the last decades. Hag's student loan balance of around $20,000 isn't as large as the burden shouldered by many other borrowers, but he said his difficulty finding a college-level job in the U.S. has made the debt oppressive nonetheless. Oh my gosh. If you're not making a living wage, he said $20,000 in debt is devastating. Guys, a living wage is not $20 an hour. A living wage, guys, $50, $60 an hour, maybe, okay? All right. I told y'all you should be aiming for $100 an hour. All right. You're aiming for $100 an hour minimum. You can't, guys, you cannot live on $20 an hour. You can't, but people don't believe me. Let me continue. So if you're okay, he struggled to come up with the $3,000 a month he owed upon graduation, $300 a month, not 300, not 3,000, 300. He could not even come up with $300 a month. Oh my gosh. He owed upon graduation. The first work he found after he left University of Northern Colorado in 2011, when the recession effects were still palpable, was on again, off again hours at a factory, unloading trucks and constructing toy rockets on an assembly line, guys. Oh my gosh. He then went back to school to pursue a master's degree in comparative literature at the University of Colorado Boulder. After that, he tried to make it as an adjunct professor, but still he could barely scrape a living together with the one class a semester he was assigned. Hag had some hope restored when he landed full-time work as a medical courier in Denver. Oh, that's nice, delivering urine and blood samples to hospitals. However, he was disappointed to find that he brought home just $1,700 a month. He had little money left over after he paid his student loan bill. He couldn't afford an apartment in the city where rent had been rising sharply. He lived with his mother and rarely went out with his friends. Guys, he was only making $1,700 a month with a master's degree. And that was the best job he had. All right, that was the better of the jobs, okay? Because he couldn't survive working in the factory, making $750 an hour. Couldn't survive as an adjunct professor, barely scraping together a living, teaching just one class, okay? Well, guys, it gets good. It gets good. Most adjunct professors barely make $1,000 a month, and after they take out taxes, it's essentially nothing. So if you're basically working as an adjunct professor for the course of 3 months, your actual take-home pay is going to be somewhere between like maybe $1,800 if you're lucky for 3 months of work. If you're teaching one class, you're probably going to take home like maybe $1,800 over the course of 3 months. That's how many. After they take out after they take away taxes and all the other bills, and plus you have to, and then guys, keep in mind, you have to factor in living expenses, traveling costs. Yeah. So the best job he's had so far right now is making $1,700 a month working as a medical courier, so delivering urine and blood samples in hospitals. And he's just pulling in $1,700 a month. $1,700 a month. This article is from 2019, not 2011, 2019. This is this year. This is 7 months ago. Oh my gosh. I couldn't make the math work in America, Hag said. Milestones that seemed like pipe dreams back home, like starting a family and owning a home, are now on his horizon in India. Last year, he married an Indian citizen, a professor at a local college. He has a 5-year spousal visa. Bro, Chad moved to another country, moved to a jungle, and then married someone there to get his paperwork. Guys, he moved to India and married an Indian national to get his green card, to get his visa, and he's married to a professor at a local college, living in the jungle. Yeah. If you're not making a living wage, $20,000 in debt is devastating. Guys, I got over 100. Don't worry, man. Listen, don't worry too much, guys. All right. Like some people are like angry. It's just like, this is fear mongering, man. Yeah, man. This is just call it that. Call it fear mongering. Adjusting to a new country, he admitted, has not been entirely easy. Some toilets here are holes in the ground you squat over, Hag said. Recently, he ate spoiled goat meat at a local restaurant and landed in the emergency room. Still, he said, and I can only imagine how hard it is to get from the jungle to the emergency room. But hey, whatever, man. Still, he said, I have a higher standard of living in a third world country than I would in America because of my student loans. All right. And there's Chad with his beautiful bride at their wedding. So that's the Indian national that he married. And yeah, so moving to another country to escape debt is risky. Experts say if the person wants or needs to return to the United States, they'll find their loan balance has grown while they are gone, thanks to compound interest, collection charges, and late fees. By the way, guys, they'll take your passport away. It's federal loan. You can't discharge. Federal loans are one of the only things that you cannot discharge when you file for bankruptcy. All right. So if Chad ever does come back, let's just say that the federal government might be meeting him at the airport with handcuffs. Although the education department typically can't garnish someone with wages if they're working for a company outside of the United States, all right, it can take up to 15% of their Social Security benefits when they start collecting. So yeah, Chad won on this one. Chad beat the system on this one because we're not getting any Social Security. So that's awesome, man. Guys, the Social Security fund. Okay, so Social Security, just want to let you know very quickly, is made up of two funds: Social Security Disability and Social Security Retirement. Okay, a lot of people think that Social Security is one fund. It's actually two. One of those funds is actually set to run out in the next 4 years. Okay, so by around the early to mid 2020s, Social Security is going to completely run out. Another very important thing is that this is not even factoring in for the devastating depression that we are moving into. When the final of the Social Security funds runs out in the 2030s, that's the projection that we had years ago. My bet is that it's not going to make it that far. It might actually run out. To be honest, the entire Social Security fund could potentially run out by the mid 2020s or late 2020s entirely. At that point, the only funds that will be available to pay people Social Security benefits will be payroll benefits, which will only be about 70% of what people receive now anyway. So people are supposed to live on 70% of what they receive now in Social Security benefits. That's assuming that we maintain the same level of workforce and we have the same amount of tax revenue coming in as we did a couple of years ago. Guys, the math's not adding up, man. The math's not adding up. The loans do not disappear when you become an expat, said Mark Kantrowitz, a student loan expert. The education department did not respond to a request for comment. Chad Albright hasn't checked his student loan account in 8 years. Chad Albright. Okay, guys, this is another. What the heck? Guys, this is another Chad. So this is Chad number one. This is Chad Hag. And now we're going to go talk about another Chad Albright. Bro, Chad is leaving this. Bro, Chad has left the building. Chad. I was like, wait, that's not Chad. Oh my, guys, this is another Chad. They just went from one Chad to another Chad. All right, so Chad Albright attended Millersville University Okay. In Pennsylvania, where he studied communications and history. Cool. He graduated as the Great Recession was beginning in December 2007 and couldn't find anyone to hire him in his chosen field. I went to interview after interview, Albright 39 said. Still, he has had $30,000 in student loans and was soon faced with a monthly bill of around $400. Unable to support himself, he moved in with his parents in Lancaster and worked as a pizza delivery man. There was anger, Albright said. I couldn't believe I couldn't find a job in America. All right, this is Chad right here. So you know what Chad did? Chad did what I did. Chad Albright left for China to escape student debt. He fell behind on his student loans and feared the education department would garnish his wages. Oh, they'll take it all, baby. They'll take it all. Albright, this is crazy. Guys, as a millennial, I'm reading this like this is scary stuff. Albright's credit score tanked as a result of his repayment troubles, making it difficult for him to buy a car and to land certain jobs. That's right, certain jobs. Since some employers now pull credit reports, so if you have a bad credit report, you can't get a job. I feel that college ruined my life, Albright said. Actually, guys, something interesting about that. If you work for certain companies, they pull your credit report because they basically have to see if you're can be trustworthy. So there's actually a lot of people who can't qualify for federal jobs. Like if you want to work for the government, if you work for like, let's say the FBI or a lot of these government agencies, you can't get the job. If you have bad credit, you cannot work for these agencies because based on your credit history, they believe that this would make you a potential risk for the agency. So basically you're more likely to divulge agency secrets and they basically don't think you're trustable. Yeah. That's how the federal government was working right now. Seeing no future for himself in the United States, he decided to move to China in 2011. In the city of Zhonghan, he discovered he loved teaching students English. Okay. Now, again, this is a 2019 article. Unlike when he was delivering greasy boxes of pizza, he found his work meaningful and fulfilling. Though he earned around just $1,000 a month in China, the school where he was teaching covered most of his rent, and the cost of living was much lower than in Pennsylvania. A few years later, Albright moved to Ukraine, where he is now a permanent resident. He first taught in Kyiv and now does so in Odessa, a port city on the Black Sea. He has no plans to return to the United States. I am much happier in Ukraine, he said, adding that he hasn't checked his student loan account in nearly 8 years. It's so funny. Someone condemned me for leaving the US. They were like, yeah, so you basically lived in the US, got your education, and then left. Don't come back. Someone literally wrote that to me. Someone literally left that as a message to me. There are more reasonable ways of dealing with student debt, said Narasan at the American Association of State Colleges and Universities. Guys, so basically they're trying to tell you, no, don't go overseas. We can work it out with you, man. Guys, I told you they're going to confiscate passports. People didn't listen to me. Okay, struggling borrowers should enter into one of the government's income-based repayment plans instead. Guys, let me tell you something about those income-based repayment plans. They keep charging you interest on them. So if you had $20,000, you're on this income-based plan. Give it 2 years, now you're up to $30,000. All right, you can't win. You can't win with these things, guys. All right. Seeing some payments will wind up being as little as $0 a month. Guys, they're charging you interest, compounding interest on this. So the longer that you're paying nothing, the more they charge you. So that means that your interest is growing. So if you owed $100,000, give it 2 years, you'll be up to $120,000 or $130,000 or $140,000. All right. Because the impact, guys, there's compounding interest on the principal, but don't forget that the interest is being added to the principal, thereby creating a new balance, which then becomes compounded itself. You just can't win. All right. It says, but the fact that people are taking this drastic measure should bring scrutiny to the larger student loan system, said Alan College, founder of Student Loan Justice. Any rational person who learns that people are fleeing the country as a result of their student loan debt will conclude that something has gone horribly awry with this lending system, College said. Here's another one. I try not to think about America, Williams said. It's heartbreaking. Katrina Williams was in a rush to find a job after she graduated from the University of South Alabama in 2013. She was looking at a monthly student loan bill of $700. Oh my gosh. I had to take whatever I could get so I could pay the loans, Williams said. She picked up multiple jobs as a part-time barista at Starbucks, a substitute teacher, and a delivery woman for the United States Postal Service. At one point, she worked full-time at a call center for Sears. I was working every day, Williams said. I had enough money left over to put gas in the car. That's it. She lived with her mother and couldn't afford health insurance. Williams had a friend who had, oh my gosh. Williams had a friend who had moved. This is nightmare. Had a friend who had moved to Japan, and the idea of leaving the United States grew on her. In 2015, she moved to Chiba, also to teach English to students. I love my work, she said. Her job sponsors her visa. Guys, I'm gonna tell y'all, I tried to do that once a number of years ago. It didn't work out for me. They don't accept everyone. She has her own apartment now and doesn't have to work 7 days a week anymore. 7 days a week. She was working 7 days a week in the US at 3 different jobs. All right. Yet Williams misses her relationships back home. She hasn't been able to make many friends in Japan. She thinks about returning to the US, but knows she will be welcomed back by wage garnishments and endless calls from collection agencies. Her student debt has ballooned to well over $100,000. I wish I could come back to America and not be scared, she said. Okay, guys, these are the experience of real millennials who have fled the country. They're living in jungles, caves, and whatnot so that they can survive and thrive. All right? They're surviving and thriving in caves. This is the new reality for millennials. And you have to wake up to the reality of it, because if you don't, then you're just then you're just going to get passed by. I mean, because no one is going to come to your rescue, guys. I told you, no one's going to bail us out of this. All right. If you don't find a way to survive, you're not going to be able to. Don't forget that and one of the best ways to do that is actually to use cryptocurrency. We actually have a brand new course called Crypto Investing Mastery Class, how to get that money. And basically in this course, which we just released, you're going to learn the only truly effective way to invest in cryptocurrency to make massive profit, the only investment resources you actually need to make massive profit investing in cryptocurrency. You're going to learn you're going to get advanced investing tools that will make getting that crypto money feel like a breeze. You're going to learn how to always be ahead of the markets, always. And of course, you're going to be able to get this at the early bird price right now by going to cryptomoney.academy. I mean, guys, this is such an important thing that you need to do for yourselves if you want to survive and thrive, or else you won't be able to. Also, don't forget to pick up an Expats Guide to Decentralized Banking and Off-the-Grid Living before they garnish your bank accounts, because they're getting ready to do that. And basically, you'll learn how to do any and all kinds of banking using only cryptocurrency, no bank account needed. You're going to be using debit cards and credit cards without having a bank account, powered entirely by crypto methods unknown to most. Guys, I take out up to $4,000 in a single go at ATM at using cryptocurrency. So I can take up to easily like $15,000 a day, more or less. All right. You can't do that at a bank. All right. You're going to learn how to live off the grid using only crypto. All right. So which is going to be really beneficial for many of you that as you flee the country. You're going to get crypto to cash quick conversion methods and vice versa. You're also going to get withdrawing and depositing thousands per day using crypto anonymously without a bank account. You're going to get sending and receiving money to and from anywhere in the world and then converting that to cold hard cash immediately. And of course, we put in a bonus section where you get advanced banking without using banks or crypto. So you'll learn secret methods that are going to entirely change your life and potentially save your life when you have to pick up and get moving. Because like, guys, that's how life is. Like, you don't get to decide you don't get to decide when changes happen in your life. You just have to be ready for them and ready to adapt and meet them head on. That's the honest to goodness truth. So I'm hoping that many of you will, see this for what it is. It's a time, it's an immediate moment. It's a call to action. We also have how to get tons of valuable cryptocurrency for free without mining or paying for it. This course is $5.99, and but it usually goes for $3,000. Guys, this course is so vital. It's so vital, and I'm going to tell you why. So basically, in this course, you learn how to get tons of valuable cryptocurrency for free without mining or paying for it. You're going to learn where to find valuable cryptocurrency for free. You're going to learn how to make money by acquiring free cryptocurrency. You're going to learn to get the resources you need for acquiring and storing free cryptocurrency. People have been making crazy amounts of money with this. Like I said, you can see the review from Aether6 CEO. This course is necessary and well worth its price. If you're tight on cash or other crypto, then this is the perfect one for you to get and buy and be ready in the crypto space. Too bad many of you missed the early bird special and Memorial Day sale. Perhaps you'll get a chance at a flash sale for you to have opportunity. I apologize if I sound like a broken record, but get this, it's worth it. I made a decent amount of crypto off my job. Yeah, guys. Yeah. Anyway, guys, so like I said, it's up to you. It's up to you if you want to change your life, transform your life, and actually be able to survive and thrive. Or if Bantu says he says this stuff is sad and laughable at the same time. It is absolute. The situation that we're in, it's sad, but it's also laughable at the same time. And the truth is that in situations like this, if you don't laugh, then you end up crying. Okay, because if you can't have a sense of humor about your current situation, then you're gonna end up crying. You have to have a sense of humor. So guys, for those of you that are potentially facing homelessness or that are cool with listen, learn to have a sense of humor, because it will help you to survive through those hard times. And of course, keep Jesus Christ in your heart, because when you are out there on those cold hard streets, or no matter where you are, all you are going to have is Jesus Christ to keep you warm, because trust me, those streets are cold. Anyway, guys, that's everything I have for you right now. You can find links to the course in the description of the video, cryptomoney.academy, if you want to pick up a course and start securing your future today. If not, well then, good luck. Good luck. All right. Like I said, I've had to, back when I wasn't doing so well, I literally experienced eating garbage from a bag off the side of the road. All right. And then I said, no more. Never. That was like 6-7 years ago. But hey, and since then I've earned 2 masters. I've started my own business, multiple streams of revenue. I got multiple streams of revenue coming in, and I'm continuing to push forward. That's my life, but that's not your life. I spent years studying cryptocurrency, learning the ins and outs of it. I'm an experienced crypto developer and also an investor. So I know what you need to do to actually make money. I made over $160,000 in 2018 during the last crypto bull run, and I'm really pushing to make well over $1 million this time, and end up in the hopefully end up in the in like the multi-million-dollar category. But yeah, right now I'm okay. But listen, if you're not doing so well, then like I said, pick up a course, learn something. Cats, rats, and homelessness. Pert says cats, rats, and homelessness. Oh my. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Cats, look at this, guys. This is the future for us millennials, man. Not for me, hopefully, but cats, rats, and homelessness. This is some sad stuff, man. This is sad stuff. I need to go I'm gonna go get something to eat, because this is depressing me. This story is depressing me. All right. If this is depressing you too, and you want to make a change, cryptomoney.academy. Otherwise, peace, love Jesus, get your money, and I'll catch you in the next one.